We got Dana, and then let me send Ashley a request, and we will get this show on the road.
Hey.
How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Oh, you're already in here. I'm good. I can't complain. Yeah, I can't complain.
You are my inspiration. You are my jump rope inspiration.
I'm so glad. Thank you. I so meant to get my headphones, but it's okay. It's all good.
Sorry.
Let me see. I just invited Ashley, so I think okay, she might be on her way in.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I think I see that she joined.
Okay.
I just see her down there.
Okay. Yeah, she's here, and I'm just waiting for her to pop up on the screen.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So let me see. Ashley. Okay, there she is. She just put the request in again. Send request, and all she got to do is accept it. And you'll be A-okay.
Where are you? Are you on an island that it's so hot?
No, you know what? I've been going all day. So like I did like my 9 to 5 work, and then at 5 o'clock, I literally jumped. I was on like a mastermind for like an hour and a half. Then I had to cook. Then I literally just gave the kids their plates.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't know if Ashley is able to. I sent her the request. Side Hustle Mentor, how are you? So I don't know if she's having trouble getting. Oh, there you are. Hey, how are ya?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Can't complain. Thank you so much for joining in.
Yeah.
So I am here basically to talk about like the aftermath of the Jump and Burn Challenge, right? So the Jump and Burn Challenge was a challenge that I had originally created like last year. And what happened is I saw that people were signing up, but people weren't completing it. And it was really for people to kind of complete at their own pace. So what I ended up doing is I changed it into a different type of challenge and added the accountability group. And what I'm noticing is that this challenge was like a crash course, like a 20-day crash course where you kind of got everything like really, really quick. But I'm totally like amazed at the progress. So I just wanted to talk about like a few different things about like, well, we'll start off. So first of all, you can introduce yourself. Dana, go first.
Hi, I'm Dana. I'm almost done with my challenge. I got, as you know, I got a little cocky and was doing some crazy stuff one day as I was, I watched you and I thought I could do it. I'm like, oh, that's easy. And then I hurt my knee. So I have about 3 days left.
Okay.
But I have to say, the first day was the hardest. Okay. I haven't jumped rope in I don't know how many years. So after 10 jumps, I could barely breathe. I'm like, it was insane. But it's so crazy how your stamina increases, obviously. And, every day when there's a new challenge, it's so difficult at first to try to get it because you're trying so hard to coordinate. And then the second you stop thinking so hard and you're like, okay, I'm just going to focus on the rope itself, like my wrist and jumping the rope. And then it became easy, So then I was really starting to enjoy it. It wasn't just a workout, but it's a fun workout. And of course, watching your videos of you dancing all over New York City and also jumping is what inspires me to keep going. So it's a workout, but it's fun. Awesome. Yeah. And then just one more thing, and then I'll stop taking up your space. Okay. As far as the 20-day challenge, so you said something really great in the beginning. You made a video, put it online saying how so many people in the past, they don't stick with a challenge. They don't hold themselves accountable because maybe it's free or what have you. I mean, this is cheap enough. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Cheap enough, cheaper than any kind of gym or any kind of class that you could have joined. But it was something that helped me hold myself accountable and keep coming and doing it. And then also having the group where you had to post your videos. It was like, okay, I don't want to slack off because these women are going to think that I'm, slacking. And so it was, I liked it a lot. It was a fun challenge. and I would totally do it again, and I would recommend it to other people.
Oh, thank you. And that's the great thing that came with the group aspect of it, was that I was able to kind of guide you and tell you, okay, this is great, this is what worked, this is what didn't work, maybe you should try this. Because I tell people all the time, like, there are so many like videos online, so many tutorials, but you're not gonna have, like, the tutorial is not gonna talk back to you. Or like the person that posted the video is not going to talk back to you, you know. And what started happening from like last year to this year was that I was getting so many videos sent to my DM, like, hey, can you critique this? And I'm like, wait a minute, I do this in real life, like online and in person. So that was that the accountability piece, I think, was like the key that really like made it stick out. And I'll let Ashley talk before I have my other questions.
Okay. Well, I'm Ashley, and I consider myself to be like a beginner. I started working out last year in September, and I had a rope in the basement, no big deal, but I don't know how I came across you for that, but I was like, who is this lady? I was like, I think I see you, like, you were on the beach, and you had your pink top on.
Yeah.
That's the video that was like, zoop, and I was like, who is this lady? And jumping it, and then the spin around just like captivated me, and I was like, I never seen anyone jump like that. You see double dutch, but you never see anyone like jump like that. And then I think I like clicked on I clicked and was looking, and I was like, oh, okay. But really, it was your story about like how like mental health and just like when you talked about what you were going through, that kind of like resonated with me, and I was like, oh, she's a mom, you know, and she has a family, and makes it look easy, but it was more of your story that kind of made me be like, it kind of connected with me. It was like the heart of everything, and it was like, she's a real person. She's not you meet people or you see stuff like, oh, this, but it was your story, and I think I watched so many videos. I don't know, you telling your story first, and just seeing that part, and then the jumping came kind of came after. And my Facebook had got hacked, or you know, and then I was even off Facebook. So when I was like, when I get back on Facebook, I need to find her again. And I was like, let me type in. And I think I typed in jump rope something because I forgot like off the top of my head your name. And then I posted again. I'm like, I hope she sent out my friend request. I need to see those videos again. You know? And when I seen you talk about, you know, the challenge, and I was like, you know, I was like, okay, let me see what this do, you know. And then I seen all the details, and like you said, I heard when you said the same thing too, Dana. When people sign up and it's for free, you know, you said that, like, you know, you see a lot of people don't complete it. And when I started off jumping, and I was like, well, I think I can, but I think I can hang with girl. I think I can, you know. And being quarantined, COVID picked up the extra pounds, you know. So to me, we're like, you know, I want to get fit. You know, I want to get fit, but I didn't want to be like, I want to lose weight. Like, I want to lose this amount of pounds, you know. So that was my big encouragement, but I was excited. I got my little, everything, the package started coming in. I was like, oh, got my jump rope, you know, I got my little hands, you know, and then I got the little pad because I jumped in the basement in concrete. So it was all like, it was more like me taking care of myself, and you sharing your story of just that 10-minute of workout, you took it to 30-minute, you know, the treadmill, that helped me a lot. Because I was like, I deserve 10 minutes.
Right.
Like, I can give myself 10 minutes, actually, you know, so that helped me think those, like, fun facts. I was like, ooh, 10 minutes, I think I got that. How many counts? Okay, I can work with that. And so that was, I just got excited for just doing something. For me, it was something little, but it made a really big impact. And I was just excited. The modules and just seeing you back and the little extra stuff you do in the groups, meeting everyone, Dana and everybody else. I was like, oh, we got this, girls. Let's do this. And watching everybody post and knowing, like, we jump at different pace. We got different style. I like to dance, as my grandma would say, buck. So I like to jump all around. So I'm like, your personality, your story kind of connected to me, and that's what made me want to join and just been my resource. I'm with you.
All right, awesome, and thank you so much for sharing. And you really brought out a lot of things as well as Dana. But it seems like for you, Ashley, it's kind of things were kind of reversed. So you kind of heard my story first before the jump rope, as where a lot of people see the jump rope first before the story. Yeah. So that was like an amazing concept, and it just, it's just confirmation that that the story does connect and that what I do is correct. I've been here on Instagram land for a long time. I'm pretty transparent, I'm pretty authentic, and I talk to my busy moms, because the reality is some of us are up there, like I'm going to be 42 next month, and some of us are up there in age, and it's just like we spend so much of our time giving that we feel guilty for taking something for ourselves. And then it's like, okay, if we do something for ourselves, are we trying to look like this person or trying to be like that person? And we cannot do that. Like like me now, I don't talk about jump rope for weight loss. I talk about jump rope for wellness, for my sanity, for my fun. And actually, you mentioned that you like dancing. Like, it's the thing about jump rope is, like, I always tell people, I give you the skills, you make it your own. And basically that's what I've done with jump rope. I've taken something that I love, plus my love for music and just my love for having fun. So it helps me not only physically, but it helps me mentally and emotionally. Like, I know a lot of people, they sit here and they think I jump rope all day, every day. No, I don't. I have a full-time job. I have my business. I have my kids. I have my husband. So I have a full-time life and some. And, in January, actually before COVID hit, I made a decision. I said, look, you know what? Because, at the time I was taking like 3 blood pressure medications and I was just like stressed. And I said to myself in January, I said, look, at the beginning of the year, I promised myself I'm going to do 3 sets of 100 jumps 3 to 5 times a week. It wasn't about I want to lose weight. It was just about I just want to be consistent and do this thing. And before the holidays, of course, because I know I love food, before the holidays, I actually had lost 30 pounds and I eliminated like 1 of 3 pills. So this is where my talk for wellness or my thing for wellness comes in, because sometimes people they lose their why and they want to maybe lose weight or exercise for the wrong reason. So they want to look good in the dress, they want to look good for their birthday, they want to go on a cruise, they want to, and those are like vanity. Like we're well, I don't know if I can't say where, I can't talk for everybody, but for women, especially over 35, we go through, like we live life, like we go through things. We have the kids and the partner and maybe some school and the business. We have all these things that we have to take care of. And, our bodies are going through changes, the stress level, some of us may not eat perfectly. Like, it's just so many things that's going on that is just like, okay, if I can just take this time and just be consistent with something, it'll make a huge impact on A, my physical health, B, maybe my mental health, or C, my emotional health. Like, I know when you're jumping, like, a part of you don't even think about what's going on in your life. I tell people, me jumping rope, it feels like I want a mini vacation. Like I said, maybe that's over exaggerated, but it feels like a vacation, and I brought in Mountain Mover Mom. I'm so sorry. Akara, right? I call everybody by the Instagram name. So she wasn't in the 20-day challenge, but she's been doing my lives with me. So ever since we had this like bring on 3 feature, I try to do my lives, and I literally like gave her an on the spot tutorial on Sunday. And so you did, like, she did her first crossover. I was like, yes. So I brought her here because she's kind of, I guess, new to, I think you've been following me for a while, but we've just recently connected since September. But we've recently like connected as far as like conversations and things like that. So I brought you here too, just to talk about like your experience and being able, and following me, your likes. I know you're a mom as well, and, trying to stay fit, and, just your journey and how, the working with me has also impacted you as well.
Yeah, well, just like you said, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I work part-time. Actually, when I had my daughter, I stepped down from my position, and, to be full-time here at home. And I was running that's what I was doing to kind of try to get the baby weight off and things like that. And I stopped running. There's Hubby there. He's always ducking if I'm on camera. And, you know, with the baby and so forth, literally I would be out, you know, if I was trying to get 3 miles done, and she would not be cooperative all the time. And then you have to stop. And I am one of those people that if I'm off task, then it's harder to get back on task for me. And so I'll just be like, oh, forget it, you know, and just walk the rest of the way or whatnot. Whereas with jump roping, I don't have to go anywhere. I can be home and still get in a great workout. And so that was a game changer for me. And especially my husband, he you know, he was grabbing his jump rope and he was just going. Like,
oh, wow.
He could do it no problem. And I'm like, God, that's my competitive side of me. I'm like, oh, I think I gotta get something going now. And it's funny because the tables are turned. Because now I jump rope more than he jumps. And just in the past maybe month or two, especially for cholesterol and things like that, he picked it up again. And I do the weighted rope. And he doesn't. I do, he talks to me all the time about his 1,000 jumps and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, but yours is not weighted. Don't come at me with a I do the regular rope all day. So, and I built up to that, you know, in 25 weeks. I started out doing a lot of just kind of, you know, things on my own and watching the videos and YouTube and stuff like that. And really, truly getting intimidated because some of the things that y'all can do is, to me, mind-blowing. Like, I literally never thought that I would get that crossover. I didn't. I had hoped and I had prayed and I had, you know, please, because that's just so, it's so cool to me to be able to do that. And I don't get right. So my grandma would never describe, I got a little Asian grandma, she would never describe that. But I mean, so to do it that day, and you kept telling me I was in my head, and I knew I was in my head, and I get really analytical. I'm a math person. That's kind of how my brain works. But when I did it, that joy was so genuine because jump roping for me is more than just losing weight, right? When I started, within 6 weeks, I saw my body composition change, and I lost no weight. That is, everyone thinks I've lost weight, and I've literally not lost any weight. And it's funny to me because when I jump rope, or I hear that I jump rope, I get asked tons of questions about it. Like, so tell me, I just had somebody today, 2 or 3 people today, and yesterday, from what you and I did. And I just keep saying, go follow her, go. I hear it, you know. He's like, oh, you make it look so easy, and the easy part is just deciding to do it and having that confidence. And what you were saying about the mental health portion of, I actually can do this. Right. Because you have to get over that obstacle and that barrier. And so today I've been just kind of practicing the cross, you know, starting out like, I'm going to do 10. When I first was just jumping, you know, the regular, just a basic jump, I got up to like 20. And then there was a point where I couldn't break past 60. And then now I think I can do maybe 280 without stopping. Nice. I don't do that. Crazy. But you know, I'm happy with our 100. Right.
And I definitely have to go back to something that Dana said at the very beginning. She said the hardest part of this challenge wasn't the tricks. It was getting through 100 jumps. That is key. Like, and this is why I begin like my in-person classes, my online classes, when I train people one-on-one, when I just do challenges, I always start with that foundational piece. And this is what I do in my own personal workouts every day, 10 sets of 100 jumps with the weighted rope. And the reason why it's so important is because it's foundation, you know. And I tell you, like, if you don't have the stamina to get through 100 jumps, which can literally take anywhere from 30 to 35, max 40 seconds, jumping at a normal, well, okay, 30 is if you're kind of jumping fast, but 35 to 40 seconds to complete 100 is kind of a normal rate, right? So that means you can get like maybe 200 jumps done within a minute's time. So that's kind of how I reverse psychology, because I don't like jumping for time. But I always tell people that they need to do that, you know, drill that. Because if you know that you can get through a basic jump for like 35 to 40 seconds, when you're including those tricks and things like that, you're exerting more energy. So if you can't even get through a 35 to 40 second on a basic jump, how are you going to even have the stamina to do like at these tricks? Because like when I'm doing these 15-second videos, that's taking life out of me, you know? Especially like I'm going to music, I'm smiling, my mouth is open, which it shouldn't be, but it takes a lot to get those 15 seconds. And like, you know, if you can't hold your own. So that was something very important that you brought up. So
yeah, I remember in the beginning just doing 10 jumps was so much. I was, like I said, I was so out of breath. And then before you know it, then I was doing chunks of 25, and I was like, oh, 50. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. But it's crazy how quickly you can build up your stamina, you know? And it seemed like every time you would show us something new, I was like one step behind. I would master the last thing, and then I go, oh, this is kind of fun. Let me go backwards now, or let me, you know, go side to side like a boxer. And, you know, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. And I think too, like one of the things was when I first saw one of your videos, because actually I found you through a friend of mine in LA who posts a lot of very helpful things on her Instagram, and I was right at that point of the winter where I start getting really just bummed out. I lose my personality, you know, until the spring comes. I'm just like, okay, I'm just working and coming home and I'm eating. That's it. And I was like, I need some purpose, man. And you know, like Ashley was saying before, it just takes 10 minutes a day. And I think when you think about some sort of fitness program or something long term, it sounds like a lot. It sounds overwhelming. You're like, oh, that's 6 weeks. Oh, this is just like in a week, you're like, oh man, look at me. I'm already feeling like more confident, and, you know, just like you're holding yourself up a little bit better. And yeah, it doesn't take much to do it. And and last thing was just, yeah, when I started saying before, when I was watching your videos, I was like, is she even awake? Like, she looks like, you make it look so easy, and you come like a centimeter off the ground, and here I am. I'm like, ugh, I feel like I'm lifting up a rhinoceros every time I jump. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm like, why did I look at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, everything's just jumping and bouncing, flapping around, and then you're just like, do, 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 do. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I have to do that.
That I watch her. That's one thing about the module, the videos.
Yeah,
it made me be accountable. Like every morning, I was like, "What time is it? 12 o'clock." I was what was posted because I was like preparing myself. Like it was like an excitement. Like I want to be doing. And at first, you know, you jump, you see people jump off the ground. And I was like, her feet don't even look like it's moving. So I was always like, but only takes to like get the rope underneath, and I like practice that a lot. Like, and I look at my, I'm like, I'm doing it like coach, I'm doing it. So like the modules like help you, like I will type over and over again. Like nope, I'm not like taking a rope like 5, 4, like the counts, the information, the tips. It helped me a lot. I was like, click, I didn't do it right. I know I didn't do it right. You know, and building like the groups. You know, posting to the Facebook group, and feeling like you're gonna be like judged in the best way. Like we're all women, you know, all different age, all different nationalities, all different type of background. And I was never afraid to be like, what is the person like? All had one goal. You know what I mean? And the uplifting was good. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. Everybody videos like hearing different languages and everybody talk, and I was like, I love her. I just love this about her, you know. And I was just always encouraged. So I really do like that, to where no one felt like bad,
right?
Like, you know. So thank you for that.
You're very, very much welcome. So yeah, y'all definitely like answer like a lot of questions. I mean, y'all answered a lot of the questions that I was gonna ask, like how did you join the challenge? Why did you join the challenge? What changes did you see? if any, you know, and it didn't have to always be like the physically, but y'all definitely answered the confidence because that's key. Y'all gained jump rope skills. That's key. And some of you had some, you know, some body change. So that was like definitely, you know, great. That's like really the bonus. But I'm just glad. Yeah, go ahead, definitely. Yeah, go ahead.
I think what makes you an outstanding coach to me is that you, which is all great coaches, right? You believe in us before we believe in ourselves. And that belief is what carries us to get, at least for me, to the point where, okay, I can now, I see that happening. And now, therefore, I can do it and I believe it too. Until the next obstacle or the next jump that I want to do. But your belief in your students and the people that you coach is so fire, so important to just keep that, you know, going. Because so often it's just, you know, a little trickle and a little, you know, I don't know if I can do this. Oh no. And then even just your smile, like just knowing you're out there every day. I know in my head, Ernest doing her 1,000 jumps, barely lifting off the ground. I'm going to go do it. That's just, that accountability is just so important. And that belief. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And then just to piggyback off of that, I felt like, you know, if there was ever a time where I didn't feel like doing it, I'm like, okay, Bernadette has children and a husband and a job and a this and that. I'm like, I work a lot and I have a dog. If she can do it, I think I can squeeze it in. I'm like, come on, Dana, just pull yourself together. You have no excuse.
Yeah, it's funny, and that's kind of how let me tell you about my day. Like, you know, I work remotely from home, so you know, I'm up, I'm doing my work, had the long supervision, and then I went outside to do 1,000 jumps. And then I came back upstairs. As soon as I came upstairs, literally a minute later, I had to hop on a Clubhouse. Like I was a moderator, and I was on there for like an hour, another hour and a half. And then as soon as I jumped off to that, I had to finish up the things for work. And then I jumped on a mastermind. We were on there for like an hour and a half. Then I had to run and cook. And literally like a few seconds before I pressed send, I gave the kids their plate. So that
Superwoman.
That has been my day.
You're showing like your kids and stuff, and I know you talk about your son being having like special needs.
Yeah, on the spectrum. I have my two youngest are on the spectrum.
And so that's like I said, your story, like it does give that motivation, you know, for others that might be with different things. Like one of the girls that I joined her group was talking about how it impacted her with sobriety and alcoholism.
Jessica.
So I just think that it's I think that transparency, like I think it helps us to kind of come out of our like, you know, like if she can do it, like why not? It's like you're igniting the fire, and it's like with a rope, like, and then all of us, you know, and then people are always asking me about, how do you do this? I'm like, I'm gonna point you to the right person. Right? I like to give credit where credit is due, because that's your craft and that's your gift, and I think that a lot of people do that now. Like everybody wants to forward. It's like, hey, I'm learning. I'm the best too. Let me point to the right person. How about you join the 5-day challenge, and then when that's over, let's get to this jumping club. How about we do it together? So I support you so much. I think what you're doing is great. I haven't found nothing like that in Illinois, and I'm in the Illinois area, and I'm like, so.
I know. Thank you. I know Mountain Moving Mom was talking to me today, and she was talking about like the academy and the certifications and things like that. And I said the certification, like for my Jump to Burn class, is something that I've been thinking about for a while. So it's just kind of like really getting everything together and getting my life together. But like the next thing that I'm gonna do is like the Rope is Dope Club, and the Rope is Dope Club is going to be a lower level membership, but it's going to take like the slow route. So like how in the 20-day you receive the crash course, it's going to take the slow route, and I think it's going to be exciting. So like every month there's going to be like a new task, but like say when we get to like the jumping jacks or the scissors or the crossovers, for the beginning of the month, I'm going to give the tutorial. And then like 3 more times in a month, I'm going to show you now how the crossover can look to maybe this song or that song or that song. So now really taking you like really into the depth of my style and how I work things out. So I'm going to have a group for that as well. And I think like it's just going to be wonderful because, you know, I think like once you have the skill, you can make jump rope whatever you want to make it. So, and I tell people all the time, there are no mistakes, none whatsoever. Like as long as you have the skill and the rope is still moving, like jump rope is really a part of your personality. So like how you like to dance, Ashley, like you dance, you jump. And that's like TikTok all day, every day for me. Like I'm on there, I'm dancing, I'm jumping, I'm having fun, I'm smiling. So jump rope is really what you make it. It's just a matter of you having the skills and you just take it and you run. You know?
I wanted to ask, did this happen for any of you guys? Like when Bernadette is teaching you some of those basic steps, and then you're practicing maybe on your own or whatnot, and then all of a sudden you're not even doing that step that you were going to be working on or whatever step she's teaching you at the moment. You're doing the one that you know, and then out of the blue, you start doing the step. Like I would be jumping, and then all of a sudden I'm like doing scissors. I'm like, what is happening to my body? And that literally happens. And so I'll just be, jumping sometimes, and it's whatever you feel like. Like today, I caught myself doing that jump, lift that we were doing that challenge just Sunday, and I'm like doing it today when I was struggling Sunday, and I'm like, what are you doing, Bob? It's so crazy to me.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about music. Because honestly speaking, nothing in my freestyles that I ever do is choreographed, ever. It's just about drilling the skills, and this is kind of what I'm teaching my oldest son. He gets upset with me a lot, but because like I'm like on him. But it's like practice these things so much, and this is like the importance of drilling. So like knowing how to jump forward, knowing how to jump. So like basically the 20-day course, it kind of took you through a whole crash, basics, footwork, tricks, combining the tricks. So it just take you through those things, and it's like the more you continue to just do it repetitively, like it becomes like second nature. And I tell people all the time, and that's the thing that I love, is that what I do I can teach, and people can gravitate. Like I have people that come like in and out the classes, or in instance for the challenge, coming in like saying to yourself, I can't do that. I be able to do that. And then bam, you did it. And it's just because it was like once broken down, it's just so easy to learn. And it's just now a matter of repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating until it becomes second nature. And I always tell people because people are always like in awe, and it's like, hey guys, I'm doing the same things over and over and over and over again. It just looks different depending on the music that I'm jumping to and how I combine it. So that's like why I love, even though I've been jumping to music, I've been doing this since 2012, like the music part, right? But this is why I love TikTok so much, is because I can go on and I can always get a different song every time. And now that challenges me to either do something faster or to do a cross now sounding different, because I'm trying to catch like this beat to the song. So it's really a challenge, and something that I even work on a daily basis. So like you can do it, and that's like I said, really the great thing about it. Like even when you did the crossover, you're like, but it's around my neck. I'm like, okay, but you did it, or like I think I scare some of my students when they come to my in-person classes. Like when it comes like double unders, I have people that come to classes that are like straight beginners, like they haven't jumped.
I'm coming.
Yeah. Oh, you're offering it? You're in New York? Yes.
Yeah.
And then so I have people that come and they like do the trick, and I'm like I think I scared them, because I'd be like way more excited because they don't realize that they did it, So they're like, oh, for real? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm crazy. But just the fact that you can actually do it, like you can see it and you can do it. So that's a beautiful thing.
Like when I jump, I'm like, it's like a faucet. I'm a sweater though, and I sweat in my hair, which is why I like to do something like natural, put it up. It's like a waterfall. It's something like when you sweat, you feel good. You feel like you think about all the weights you do when you lift weights. It's like I didn't sweat that much when I was lifting weights and putting all this effort and was it for an hour. It's like I'm jumping, I'm having fun, and I'm like sweating, and I'm like sometimes I'm jumping and I'm like and the sweat is like dripping in my eyes. I'm like, oh, it's burning. I got you.
I didn't know it was the best exercise for the lymphatic system. I had no idea. I did a bunch of research about jump roping, and it is the best exercising for the lymphatic system.
Yeah, the most underrated form of cardio, period. This is why all of the jump rope is only praised in the boxing world because this is what they physically show you, but all athletes jump in their off season. But boxers, like with boxers, right, they have to like move their lower body, move their upper body, now duck and defend and offend and breathe and all the things like. And this is why like they jump and run because they need all of these things to be successful. And the crazy thing is I had trained for boxing once, like in 2015, I think, right? No, way before I had my son. So like 2005 or 6, right? And when I got into the ring for my first sparring session, I was traumatized because of how winded I got. And I'm like, oh, this is why, you know, that jumping rope and the running, this is why they do that, because that conditioning is key. Like I tell people, like, because a lot of people are always concerned about their jump rope. I say, look, you do this, do like 10 sets of 100 jumps for like, for 4 weeks, and you will see a huge change in your stamina. So and the weighted rope is amazing. This is probably why you've seen the change in conditioning, and this is why, like when I do my 10 sets of 100, I always use the weighted rope. So I have the half pound, I have the 1 pound, I have the 2 pound. I'll throw in the 1 pound ever so often because my goal is to get through those 1,000 jumps in 10 minutes time. So so really swinging like really fast so that it won't be like I won't take too much of a break, you know. So that's why I had said earlier today that I was just gonna like do the first 500 before I did the party because I just wanted to get them done really quick, you know. To fulfill that. But yeah, when you're using like a weighted rope, I don't do weighted ropes for tricks though. But when you do like the weighted ropes, that's a form of lifting weight. And of course, as we're older, you know, that helps with our lean muscle mass. It helps with like maintaining upper body muscles, as well as keeping, you know, like the shoulders developed and the biceps, the triceps, the wrists, forearms, all that good stuff. So that's why I love the weighted rope.
Like you said, my legs are so like my daughter told me the other day, she's like, Mom, I think you're stronger than what you like. I think you're stronger.
Yes.
I'm like, she's like, you know, you lost weight, and I'm like, you think so? Because when you're on the field, it still can say the same. I feel like I tried on pants, and a couple months ago, that little stomach area was not, it wasn't doing I was able to fold the pants down and catch them up, but I'm losing inches. And so you're right, my thigh is so much like, you know how you squeeze your leg and you see like, you see all of your knees forming. And
right.
You know, you start seeing it, you get excited. And so I'm like, that's been like the fitness part of it, but I try not to get like obsessed with stuff like that because then you find yourself like, it takes away from the why. Like, why did you start from the reason? I don't want to get like, I don't want to go like to that place where I'm weighing myself and doing all this, but I started seeing a little structure and a little butt and all that.
Yeah.
All the way around, we get the mind right into, you know.
Right.
You know, and so I'm like, okay, come through. You know, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome. That is so good. That is so good.
It's been a gateway to so many things about health, right? Just even heart rate recovery, learning about what that is, and you know, knowing that okay, if I can take that break and get to that 10 minutes for the 1,000 jumps because my heart rate recovery measure is good, my cardiovascular system is good, so I can get because it. Like I encouraged my sister to start doing this, right? The 1,000 jumps. And her first time doing it, I think it took her like 37, 38 minutes.
Wow.
She's now down to about 25 minutes or so. When I started, I was probably in the 20-minute range. I got down to like 13 minutes, and now I can do it in 10.
Wow.
But I took a month off, and I was back into the 12-minute range and so forth. And so it's just like learning, okay, well, my heart rate recovery, I need to work back on that, or heart rate training, or any of those things. I've learned so much just about my own body and my own health. And also about breathing, right? Because I can get to that 10 minutes, but I have to remember to breathe because you get so out of breath. And I'll see you go so fast. And I'm like, well, she's barely jumping off the floor. So you know, and for me, I get in my head a lot. So I like that you said, you know, you just have to do it, and it just starts to come to you. And it really does. It really, really does. When I do finish it under 10 minutes, I am like exhausted.
Right.
But I feel amazing.
Right. And this is exactly why I wasn't overly critical in the group. You know, when you would submit your videos, I didn't want to go like all in, like, okay, this, that, because then if I'm telling you 5 different things, you're going to start thinking about all of it, and then you're not going to be able to do it at all. So the goal was basically to tell you the most important thing, because at the end of the day, you still have to remember this is something new. This is something that you never done before. So this is like where the mental part of jump rope come in. It's kind of like, you know, when I'm teaching classes and we're doing a basic jump and I say do jumping jacks, and people literally start fumbling all over the place. I'm like, you know, because we're and that's the complicated and mental piece about jump rope, is that you're doing so many different things at the same time with different parts of your body. So it's like when you're doing a basic bounce, it's like, okay, cool, we got this. This is cool. And then I'm like, okay, open and close your legs. And you're like, wait, what? I have to do what? And now you have to think about it. You're like, okay, this is awkward. And you start to kind of lose count. And it's just funny because I watch it all the time, you know? But that's definitely like the mental part of jump rope, and it eventually becomes second nature.
It's also different because I know a girlfriend, I can do some stuff she can't do, and she can do stuff that I can't do.
Right. I like to count. I count in my head when you gave us those like like crisscross, you know, jumping side to side. I literally wrote it down on a sticky note and was like, okay, Coach Burnett said, I clicked the video, I'm like, 2, 2, 2. And I'm like, okay. So in my head, I would tell people, I'd be like looking up in the sky, I'm literally like counting. You know, like until like I can like get it until I can like master it. And sometimes the rope is flying all over. When I was doing it first, the crisscross, I was like, dang, I'm like eating up my skin. Like it was like, whoop, whoop, like just tearing me up. I'm like, oh, you know, and then you were like, hey, you need to make your rope shorter. You know, like you need to, and that was something that I've never been told before. Like that rope needs to be short. And I was like, okay, now jumping a little bit easier. And, you know, but that first week, I thought it was like, why is your arm like that, Mom? I'm like, cool. You know, but I really do enjoy it's been amazing.
Yay. Yeah, somebody asked me a question on YouTube. Have you ever considered trying a 3, 4, 5 pound rope from cross rope? I read reviews where some have tried the 4 pound, 5 pound like 20 times. When it returns to the one leg, it feels so light. So for me, Jacqueline, I honestly like to stick to the lighter weight. When I used to use the hi Monique, that's my coach right there. When I used to do the like 1 and 2 pound ropes all the time, like daily, it really bulked me up really quick. So I would bulk up really fast. I'm like, okay, I don't want to look like this. And then so I had to kind of take a chill. So now, like I said, I'll pull it out ever so often, because honestly, for me, the goal is really to get through those 1,000 jumps really fast, right? And also too, like I do other things. So I may have the resistance bands that I use, or I have like 5 pound little weights and things like that I'll use. So I just want to get through like that as quick as possible. So no, I don't do too much of the heavy ropes, because I don't want to be looking like this, you know, because some things literally bulk you up really quick.
We jump rope like, when you trying to be around here looking like linebackers, right? We're trying to look lean, you know?
Right.
That's good to know. I'm glad you mentioned that.
But like I said, you can use it, but like use it in moderation.
There are some women that are, weightlifting and bodybuilding. They want that look. So
Yeah.
that's something good that they could do. Do 1,000 jumps with a 2 pound, 3 pound rope.
Yeah, that'd be insane. That would be insane. But it's really, really good, especially like if you don't have access to weights and things like that. And like I said, it really does double the calorie burn. The only thing for me is that I have to take longer breaks because now I'm sore because the rope is heavier, So that's kind of why I just do like those 1/2 pound ropes. So it's like, okay, I can get to it.
1,000 jumps, what's helped me is I went and I bought these things off Amazon for my shin, the ice packs.
Okay.
Wrap. Because I wasn't doing that. And then you mentioned BioFreeze the other day. I've never even thought about putting that on before I did my 1,000 jumps. This is genius. I was just like, why didn't I think of that?
Why? Okay, let me tell you why I put on BioFreeze, right? Because Sunday I knew it was going to be a jam-packed day. So I had to teach class, and then I was going to do my TikTok jumps, and then I was going to do the jump rope party, right? But this ended up being a bigger event than I thought of because I did the class, I did my TikTok jumps, and then I had like 2 professional photographers. They just started taking pictures of me. So now I have like a bunch of pictures. And then like one guy asked to borrow a jump rope. Then the next thing you know, like it was so many people. It was like a flash mob on Times Square. So that was actually fun. So now I'm like, okay, like I'm trying to film, trying to watch the kids, trying to just still jump. Because the photographers, they study, like one had left, but the lady, she stayed the whole time and she was just clicking away. And she actually did a post yesterday for Women's Day, which was like really, really cool. Yeah. So like this thing is infectious, and like going to Times Square is literally something because I teach on 34th Street. So I just go there just to get the scenery because, I'm always in front of my house. What kind of scenery is that, So when I have a chance to go and get like some kind of scenery, I'm like, okay, we're going to go to Times Square. It's going to be a lot of people. And I'll just record. And that's the great thing about jump rope is that you could do it anywhere, anytime, any place with any little piece of equipment. And a lot of people always ask me, like, do you have any shame in jumping out in a public? And it's just like, no, like it's fun. Like anywhere that I can jump, as long as I have on my sports bras and my jump rope. I am down to jump, because matter of fact, it's so funny. That's how I landed in the Advil commercial. So true story. I went to the Keith Thompson's spin class, right? And after class, we was downtown in Brooklyn, and there was a guy walking around with a camera. And I was like, hey, can you just take some pictures of me? Y'all know I ain't got no shame. So I was like, can you take some pictures of me? And when he finished, he did like a on-the-spot interview. And he's like, hey, can I put this on my blog? And I'm like, sure. And then like I believe like maybe a year or 2 later, he was contacted by Advil. At the time, I didn't know it was for Advil. So he was contacted. And then he contacted me saying, hey, look, some people want to use your video for a commercial. And I had to consent. And that's how I got on Advil. I was literally jumping in the middle of the street in Brooklyn.
That's awesome.
And that's how we got on. Yeah.
I was early when they did voting this past election. And you had to go in line, it like opened at 7 a.m. And so I was like, okay, people are going to be there. Let me go ahead and get early. And I was in line. I was like the 6th person, 7th person. And it wasn't open yet. So what am I going to do? I pulled out my jump rope. And I jumped. And you should have seen, so many people had comments. The line got really long. And here I am. Friends are texting me, is that you? What else am I going to do? If I'm in a queue and I got my jump rope, I'm jumping.
Exactly. So we have a question here from Monique. How many calories can you burn in 10 minutes? So the calorie burn is different from everybody depending on your weight. But I can tell you in an hour's time, it can take you can burn about 700 to 1,000 calories in an hour's time. So if you kind of break that up into 10 minutes, I would say about 200 calories. Right. But the thing about jump rope is that when you're done jumping, you'll be sweating forever. It takes forever and a day to stop sweating. Like I went outside the other day, like last week, it was like 20 or 30 degrees, but I just know it was cold out there. And I wasn't sweating outside, but when I came back upstairs, like it was just like woof. And it's like it keeps going and going and going and going. So jump rope, like I said, it's just really, really a really, really great exercise if you like want to get like a quick workout. In a little bit of time. And this is why I always say like 10 minutes of jump rope is equivalent to a 30-minute jog on a treadmill at 6.5 miles an hour. Why? Because with jump rope, you're in a constant state of motion. So, and that's a really downplay running, but when you're running or jogging, I would say jogging, you can drop your arms, you can start to walk, you can just like lardy, 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 lardy. But with the jump rope, you literally, when you turn the rope, guess what? You have to jump. If you don't jump, like what's going to happen? You're just not exercising. So that's why jump rope, even though, you know, I'm like, hee hee ha ha, like I'm making it look like it's a walk in the park. Jump rope is hard, you know, and, you know, going on to another topic of like body positivity. I've been on these online streets for a long time, and people have been talking and blah 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 blah. And for me, it really doesn't bother me because I'm just like, okay, if I give you a rope for 10 seconds, you will not even last 10 seconds because jump rope is the truest test of your conditioning inside and outside. Like people don't understand it. It takes a lot to get through those. And it's just, you know, like you said, Dana, the hardest part of the challenge was trying to do 100 jumps. You didn't say the double under or the crossover or the side swing. You said trying to do 100 jumps.
And I feel like now that I have more stamina, I want to jump on the streets just to show off.
Yeah.
Like, can you do this? No, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like I want to show off my skills.
Do it.
You know, and you know what? When you're showing off, like, you know, that's like what I like in the gym, right? I like to have that audience, right? The people just watching. Because when I go to the gym, of course, I'm not going to be doing 10 sets or 100 jumps. I'm going to get on the elliptical, you know? So it's just fun, you know, just like showing off. I call it like performing. Hey, you know, like once you have the stamina, of course you can perform. Exactly, Monique.
Yeah. It's like you jump rope and then you just kind of drop the mic. You're like,
yep.
And they're like, wow, she was good.
Like I know.
Coach Bernadette. So, you know.
I'm always amazed at how many. I'm the only one in my gym that jumps. We have a gym here in my community. I go every morning. I haven't gone in the past 2 days, but I'm amazed at how many people, one, don't jump, and then two, are intimidated by it. They really are intimidated by it, and I love that you're normalizing, like saying this is doable. You can do this, and when they see me, and you know, even when they see me, because sometimes I think they watch me to see me trip up,
right?
Because that makes them go, okay, good. You know, that's probably what I would do. And there's so many times, you know, even during COVID, I've like taken the little wipes and wiped the handles and said, here, try. It's like this, and they'll try, and it's just, it's again that belief. You know, you can do it. So I'm just amazed at how many don't. But then again, I'm 44 and I've never jumped rope in my life.
Really?
In September.
Wow.
Ever in my life. And I don't have the double under yet.
Wow.
That's coming.
Oh, we're going to get the double under. And you know what? And that was a great thing about the challenge. What's funny is that there were women that were over like 40 and 50 in the challenge. And I remember Keithia, I believe, this was her first time actually posting a video on social media, period.
Oh, wow.
So that was really, really, really amazing. Like, I think I really did a great job at capturing the people that I really wanted in the challenge, you know? So that was great. Confidence builder. I like that.
And I think in the beginning, I forgot. I often forget my age. So I'm like, oh yeah, no wonder you're so out of breath. It's been a while, you know? Like, because you were like, oh, and then for the people over 40, and I'm like, go ahead, I'm listening. You know?
Yeah, you know, and and that's why I started, shifting my content to women over 40, because there's such a bad stigma around jump rope. There's so many stigmas that jump rope is bad for the knees and jump rope is bad for this and that. And, I'm not a medical doctor, and, take this with a grain of salt, but jump rope literally can be safer than running and jogging. So when you see me only jumping like this high off the ground, like when you're jogging, you literally have to lift up and down. But when you're right, but when you're jumping, and also too, you can get the same amount of work done in 10 minutes than you would in that 30-minute jog. So it's literally safe, and it's just the misconception. I tell people, all you have to do is wear the right shoes, wear shoes that absorb shock, jump on the correct surface, only jump high enough to clear the rope, listen to your body, don't do too much, learn how to, learn the proper way. And this is also too why I wanted to have the challenge in the way that I've had it, because I see so many people throwing jump rope challenges online, but they're not educating people on how to jump. And now when, say, someone that's 40, they start jumping for the first time and they get hurt, now they're like, oh, jump rope is such a horrible thing. This is a curse, So this is also the other part too that I like about educating, because honestly speaking, my influencer, the person I look up to, she is 77 years old. Annie Judas. She's here on Instagram. We've been friends for a few years now, but she is 77 and she's still out here jumping.
Nice.
And I always tell people, look, you just have to modify it to fit your body, your issues, your age, whatever's going on. I know I'm not the same jumper that I was when I was 20 years old. Of course, I've had to modify some things. I've had to shift some things. I deal with knee arthritis and torn meniscus in my left knee. You wouldn't know that, but because I work with my doctors, I go to my doctors. My doctors, it's just like your athlete, your average athlete. Think of your favorite athlete. They have had injury upon injury upon injury, but they work with their doctors and they do the things that they need to do to stay well. And it's the same thing that I do with my condition. I work with my doctor. My doctors know, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then I know if I'm starting to feel symptomatic, okay, hold off on this certain trick. So when I'm starting to feel symptomatic, I'll maybe now monitor how I do a 360 or at 180. So instead of doing it on one foot, I'll do it on both feet. So knowing how to really listen to your body and know, it's kind of like going to a boot camp, for example, and say you can't squat, right? But okay, maybe I can get bands and then maybe do some step to the side. So always knowing and working with your body, because a lot of people try to push themselves too hard, knowing, okay, this is something I cannot do.
Yeah.
So, and this is why I like to stress the importance of this in women over 40, because I want y'all to do it and I want it to be done safely, because I plan to jump as long as I'm living on this earth. Okay, if Annie could go up to 77, I could go up to 77 too. So
that's awesome.
And if you're on 40, with jump roping, if you're sweating, all that is great for your skin.
Yes.
As long as you wash it afterwards.
Jump rope and water.
There's so many benefits to what this exercise brings to your life,
Yeah. Thank you so much, Monique. Yep. So, like I said, for those of you that's just joining, we were just here. I just ended a 20-day challenge. Plus, we had a bonus day. So I have a few members here that just came to talk about their experiences after the challenge. And I had someone else that I brought here that was in my jump rope party on Instagram and just talking about the experience of learning something on the spot. So I'm so glad that you are here with me to have this discussion. I think this was a very, very great discussion. Very great discussion. So yes. So do any of you have, is there a brand of jump ropes you recommend? Of course. I recommend the Make It Fun Freestyle Jump Rope. That is my jump rope. I'm out of stock right now, but I will have them very soon. These jump ropes were my quickest sellers throughout this pandemic. I've sold so many jump ropes. So what we did is right now with the handles, my name was printed on it, but now we did an imprint. So that took a little while longer. So that's kind of why I've been waiting for a while. But I was told that they should probably be ready this week because I did buy some socks to match. I think I'm gonna have twerk voice. I don't even know I'm gonna saying it right, but I'm gonna have those kind of ropes now. So I definitely recommend that rope. I also, if you're looking for weighted ropes, I recommend the cross rope system. I have been using, and I am an affiliate for it, but I do not promote products that I don't believe in. I've been using cross rope since 2015. And I'm a solid believer in that jump rope as well. So I use both, and you literally have to use the rope that's going to work for whatever skill that you're working on. Like me, the weighted rope is for like my weight loss, my conditioning, my regular jumping, because I already know I'm not going to be triggered and start doing crazy things. So that's why I have to use it too. Because if I use like the regular PVC to start doing like my basic jumps, I'm gonna get triggered by music because that's how I've trained myself. Like from 2012 is with music. It's like I'm totally lost without the music. So that's why I'm always dancing. Okay.
We should start something where we just kind of jump rope down the streets and someone follows us with a boombox in the back, and then people just join.
That would be fun. And you know what? I think because I'm gonna start, because I think before, I don't know if I ever had my bag of ropes with me in Times Square, but I'm gonna just start. I'm just gonna start when I go, because I teach my class again. I teach every 2 weeks. So on the 21st, I'll be back. So 21st, I'll be there, and then I'll go to Times Square and I'll have my ropes there.
Nice.
I thought that you brought those all the time. I thought this was something that you don't normally do.
No, I go to do my TikTok jumps, but I never, because I think like maybe 4 weeks ago, a guy had asked me to borrow my rope, and I let him jump, but it just was a big scene. And then like the FedEx guy, he came to deliver. Yes, the FedEx guy came to deliver a package. And he wanted to jump, and I videoed him and everything, and I still got to post it to TikTok. But jump rope, it's just so addicting. Like it's just so addicting. It's infectious, and people cannot help themselves at all.
Make it fun.
Yeah.
The attraction of you like smiling and doing it, and the excitement. People want to be like, I want to try. But if you were just like dry about it and personality about it, and I think that's why some people get discouraged by the gym. Everybody in the gym, and they look at me. Ooh. Look at me while you working out, and I'm trying to come in here. I'm a little bit kind of like, oh, it's okay, bro. All right, but the jump.
Hello, Cash.
It's fun and quick, and you're doing your little tricks, and you're laughing and smiling. So
just do what you do.
There's a lot of people out there that jump rope, that can do jump rope well, that I see them on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and there's but I'm not drawn to want to jump with them or want to jump on my own. It's you and your personality and your infectious just joy that makes it fun, and you have the perfect name for your business.
Thank you. And let me tell you how that came about. So I dance on the treadmill, right? Because everything that I do cardio wise is drawn by music, right? So if I'm on a treadmill, if I'm jumping rope, every cardio thing that I do is music. So I started doing salsa on a treadmill, and then there was another song where I would like do all these jumping steps and things like that. So I had like an old iPad. This is back like in 2012ish or so. And I propped my little iPad on the thing. I walked to the treadmill, did my little salsa, got off the treadmill, stopped it, and I uploaded it to YouTube. Like I was not into editing. I did not pop it. I did not crop it. I didn't do anything. It went from iPad to YouTube. And this is what I tell people too. That's a social media hack. Like, stop waiting for things to be perfect. Just do it. Feel the fear, do it anyway. So there was this guy, there was this guy, he was on the treadmill and he was like twirling around. He was twirling around with his arms sticking out. Had a blue tank. He's a black guy. He had a black, I think it was a blue tank top. And it was a treadmill craze that happened. So the people from Dr. Oz wrote me and they're like, we saw your video. Can we show it on the show? And then they contact me back. They was like, wait a minute, we see you in New York. You want to come on the show? So I'm like, sure, of course I'll come to the show. And then my friend, she was like, oh my gosh, you need a website. Because I didn't have a website. I didn't have a name. It was none of that. So she was like, oh my gosh, we got to get you a website. We got to get you a name. We got to get you all of that. So I'm just like, well, what? Right? So she was like, make it fun. Because at the time, she was making websites for people. And she was into this whole NYC thing, if you were like in NYC. So she named Make It Fun NYC. So when you go like on TV shows and things like that, like you only deal with the producers, right? And I had met with Dr. Oz so he could show me, so I could show him like how to do the salsa on the treadmill. He didn't know anything about me. We didn't even tell them about Make It Fun, anything like that. So when it was time for action, he was like, Bernadette is here to show us how to make our workout fun. And I was just like, oh my gosh, confirmation. Right? Confirmation.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So that's where the Make It Fun came from. And it's honestly true because every time people watch the videos, that's all they say is, wow, oh my gosh, you're having fun. You make this look fun. Oh my gosh, you brought a smile to my face. Oh my gosh, I was feeling so down until I came across your page. So yeah, fun is for me. Oh, that video went so viral. That was crazy.
Was that sand really hard or something? Like, I don't. How did you get the rope to keep going? Like the rope was hitting the sand.
I think like everything was over dramatic. So even if you look at like when I'm doing the crossovers, it was like a boom, boom. Yeah. So it was like really over dramatic, to kind of catch the sand. That's why I tell people, like, I wouldn't jump on the sand because people think this is a workout. I'm like, no, it's not that serious. Like, this was just for show. This was just for my 15-second video for show. No, I would not go to the beach and do a whole full-fledged on workout on the beach.
Well, I'm 20 minutes from the beach.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was regular sand. I think I was jumping. I think I was like right by the water. So I think I had a mixture of like water and sand. But that video took off. I was just like, wow, I was not expecting that. Because I think I had went to the beach like I had went to the beach like 2 weeks before. And that's at the time where like my knee was like really like cutting up. And I tried, but it just wasn't happening. So I think like I had got the cortisone shot and like maybe like a week after I went to the beach, I was like, oh no, we got to make up for lost time. So yeah, but that video went crazy viral. I think people are still liking it on TikTok till this day.
I just saw you having the right outfit.
Yeah.
Outfit. I mean, you was like, you had your braids. I was like, still doing it. It was the music. I was like, oh, she's doing a crisscross. Oh. And so I was like, this is insane. Like you said, the sand was like, I was like, what in the world?
And everybody loved the lady walking in the background.
Yeah. Always the people in the background that's like, that catches your attention. Like she's probably looking like, what in the world?
Well, let me see. Jacqueline on YouTube. What did she say? I do find my knees and ankles hurt at times as I adjust the jumping rope because I'm new at it. With wrapping the knees and ankles help. I am using proper shoes and the mat. Wondering what tips do you have? Well, Jacqueline, you said you're wearing the right shoes. You said you're wearing the proper shoes. You have a mat. I would say do very little at a time. So start out with like maybe a few sets of 10 jumps, and then the following week move the set to 25, then 50, then 100. So definitely take little steps at a time and listen to your body. Don't do too much because now when you're trying to do too much, you're putting a lot of pressure on your body. So just like with any exercise, you have to ease your way into it. So definitely hope that helps. So that's what I said. People got to ease their way into it. Yeah. So, does anybody have any final words? We've been on here for an hour, y'all. Hour and 8 minutes. Time flies and you having fun.
I just want to say thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, you're welcome.
It drew me to you, so, and all of us. I mean,
Awesome.
Great. Thanks for the information and tools and things that we need. And I think most of all, thanks for sharing your story about, your life and your your background, because I think that's for a lot of us right now, and whatever that's going on with COVID and mental health, and that captivates people because people feel like they're by themselves, and so that transparency to help us mothers out, or help parents out, different backgrounds, say, hey, 10 minutes, you owe yourself that, you deserve that. I think that makes the difference.
Awesome. I'm so happy. Yeah, look, anytime you have like a concern, like just leave that in my box, and I'll definitely, feel free to turn that into content, and it was just really good to hear that, because it's really showing me that I am on that path, so I've taken jump rope, right? And I've had this theory, I'm still like working on the framework up behind it, but the theory of jump, journey of the underdog making progress, jump meaning take action. So it's like, if you want to feel better, physically, mentally, emotionally, you have to do something. You have to jump. You have to take action. If you want to start your business, you have to take action. If you want to, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to take action. Now, when you have that jump rope, right, and when you turn the rope, and if you don't jump, guess what? That rope is going to hit your foot. And it's just going to keep hitting your foot until you take action and jump. So when, every day we're going to have some kind of stress every day, but it's really all about how we manage that stress that's going to take us through. So, when the problems come at us, it's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to stand there and let it keep hitting our foot, or are we going to take action and jump? So I'm so happy that, you brought that up, and that you kind of came the reverse way, because me, it's just like, okay, everybody knows me for jump rope. Does everybody know like the other side? Like, I am more than jump rope,
When I heard that story, I was like, no, that can't be her. Like I was like, oh, you talked about different things, depression and stuff like that. And I was just like, wow, I think the jump rope is just your tool, but your story is like the main, that's like what people, that's what people are struggling with, and that don't just captivate. Once you get them there, it's like, what? Who is this person? It's all these different layers of Bernadette Henry.
And you always do it with a smile. I remember that's what drew me in when your Instagram story, you shared, your mental health journey and what's happened to you and so forth. And I was like, oh, she's a legit real person. This is not a 4x4 window or 1x1 window into somebody's life, and we only see the highlight reel. Like, and if this is your highlight reel.
Like, if I'm wrong, I want to be right.
Like, it's the fact that you've been so transparent and you've been so open and honest in sharing your journey and relatable. There's just this connectivity that, turns the light switch on, and everything is just brighter with you in it. It just is. And I heard about you in September, but I really honestly didn't start connecting and really following and watching all the stories. Because let's be honest, you be posting a lot in your stories.
I know. And the crazy thing about it is that I literally have some people that watch the same people every day. And sometimes I'll be questioning myself, like, was that cool? Was that? But it's like, some people have told me that they actually look forward to it. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's all great. I'm like, what great thing she's saying. It could be about the guy on the street wanting to jump rope. It's just, you're so real, and it's great. It's just a joy to be around and to be a part of. And just like right now, I was like, just got Naomi to sleep, my daughter, and I was like, she invited you to the live video. I'm like, oh, don't put your hair in a bun. I'm like, you know what? When she keeps it real, you don't need to look all specific way. Just be relatable and share your story. And I'm so thankful that you share yours with the world, and that enables all of us to be able to do the same thing and change lives. My kids are going to grow up jump roping.
Right.
It's so cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, have your child, my son told me the other day, Mom, it cannot, because I always be like, woo, dancing or whatever. And I'm like, woo. Yeah, how he was like, Mom, does it take all of that? And I said, here you go. And he tried. He was like, I can't do that. And he threw the rope. Like, I recorded. He's like, oh, I can't do that. He threw the rope. I'm like, yeah, you're 11, but your mom got you on that, right? Get up here, you know. So
don't worry, I'm working on something for the kids. I'm just trying to train my son now because he's very skilled. You know how kids are; they just like to show off. So like I'm really working with him like on that conditioning piece. And I think one of my students actually took a cool clip of us in class. And oh, thank you. And my one of my students actually have a video of us in class. I think it's on Facebook where we're doing like the high knees together, like the warm up. And it was just so cute. And then like even a couple of times in class, I had to like, okay, like I told him like to show them how to do the next technique. Because some of the people that come regularly, they're used to my kids if I do bring them. So I'm like, okay, now, you know, now that you're showing them, you have to explain what you're doing, you know, so that he could like really grow up and know like what to do and not just show off. But now you can hold your own for like, you know, 100 jumps, or you can do this or that, not just come out or like when if I say Johnny or somebody comes to you and say, hey Johnny, come do this quick 15 seconds, you can at least hold your 15 seconds. So like I'm really putting him through his own special boot camp so that when we do launch, you know, a kids program, that he'll be fully able and capable.
awesome.
So he'll kick that off. And then my 4-year-old, he just started jumping like maybe a couple of months ago. So, you know, children on the spectrum, you cannot lie to them, nothing. They just don't take it. So, you know how as a mom, you'd be like, hey, yeah, you did it. Great job. This, that. He was like, when he finally learned that he really wasn't jumping over the rope, he was just like, no. So I actually did a video on TikTok. It was funny. Alicia Keys' song was playing. This was not planned. I was actually going to jump to the song, but the song kept going over and over and over or something. And it was so cute. Like he did, like he tried to jump backwards and he couldn't do it. So he just dropped his arms and put his head down and walked over to me and gave me a hug. That video went viral too. And then like in September or October, he actually started doing his first jump. And I put like this then and now, and that video like just took off. So he likes to jump. My 9-year-old, my 11, no, what is he? He's 10. He's about to be 11 at the end of the month. He does not like any form of exercise whatsoever at all. But, you know, ever so often he'll want to give it a try. So I like the fact that he's able to do it with the, you know, coordination, like with having autism and everything, that he's actually able to do it. So I'm actually like testing that out because I was approached with an opportunity to work with like autistic adults, like with jumping rope. So I'm like really seeing how far I take it with my children before I like, you know, go on that road. So it's just so many different like opportunities and things. And yeah, get the kids involved. I think and children, they're tough. Like I taught at 92nd Y for like 2.5 years. I've conducted children workshops, everything. But children, they take when I tell you they take this to heart, they take this to heart. They will cry. They will do all the things. Like children are very dramatic because it's like they, you know, they want to just catch things right away, and they get very upset and frustrated. Like and it's just like, okay, Brenda, this is just part of it. They're gonna cry. But then it's like when they actually do it, it's just like such a sense of relief. Like children, they're like even my son, he was in Times Square crying. I'm like, sir, can you just like get over your life? Because he's like jumping, because I'm trying to get him like on the beat, like with jumping to the music. Because I said if anybody has my style down pat, he has to have it. So I had a song and I was just trying to really get him to like get the pop on the beat. And then he wanted to start. I'm like, okay, you 13 years old. We do not have time for this. Okay. But the children become but they take it very seriously. But once they get it, it's a wrap. They take off and run with it.
Yeah, my 13-year-old is really competitive, so I use that to my advantage with the jump roping.
Oh, nice. And it pushes you.
Yeah. So how many can you do? Well, I did this. Like tonight we ran on the field together and he's faster than me now. He wasn't always, but he is now. And so the only way I can beat him is in jump roping right now.
until he tried to beat you in that, right?
Until he gave it to me. Yes.
But my 13-year-old, he always thinks so. He nails some little thing and he'll be like, oh, let me show you. What? Let me show you. Look. Oh, I'm not talking to you. Who, me? And I'm like, remember who taught you, okay? Get it together. amazing chat. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So the group is still going to be there. So I will not archive the group. I will be running the challenge over again. I'll probably be doing it on a monthly basis, either in April or May. I don't know. But the group is there for you to stay in and, have fun.
Cool.
So
Cool.
there's that. All right.
Nice to meet you, ladies.
You too.
So y'all have a great night. If anybody have any questions here, feel free to ask. Feel free to follow everybody and all that good stuff. Okay, and meet and make new friends all the time.
Thank you for bringing us together and for doing.
You're
what you
welcome.
do.
This is so fun. Thank you. All right. Good night.
Bye.
All right. Oh, my Facebook and YouTube. You're welcome, Jacqueline. Thank you for coming.